Welcome, everybody, to the Odds Brothers podcast on a Super Friday. That's right, the Friday before the Super Bowl. We have all your, prop bets, at least 57 of them, plus
57
to go with Super Bowl 57. How about that? Huh? Was that pretty good marketing?
That's great marketing.
Speaking of marketing, one of the guys that was going to be on the show decided to drop out. Why? Because he might have a feeling that the Eagles are going to lose.
I doubt that's the problem.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers Podcast. Follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark.
I'm not a smart man.
And Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
He's been sniffing glue all season.
Well, let's put it this way. If I'm sniffing glue, it'll be on Monday if I have to learn the fight song. It'll be like karaoke. I'll have to do it like karaoke because I'm definitely not going to take the time to memorize the words.
You start learning it now because you're singing it Monday, not learning it Monday.
It'll be Christmas again in February for Shaney Boy.
Oh,
and Mark in the middle. Oh, Preston, your favorite Eagles fan.
Here I am. I'm back
for his 6th performance.
They invited me back. They told me I couldn't come back after the Cowboys beat the Eagles, but I think we made it a little further than you did this year.
We just wanted to try to get some equal opportunity on the show. We had to get a Eagles fan on here besides this guy.
What
I
about
thought he was a Nebraska fan.
What?
He might be on Monday.
That's far from the truth.
If the Kansas City Chiefs win on Monday, he'll be donning the gear.
No worries. No worries from this guy.
No worries.
Hopefully it'll trend on the Cornhusker official Twitter account.
Maybe it might make him play better next year. I doubt it.
I doubt that.
Can't make him play worse.
That's coming from me and Preston, who actually picked them to win like 9 games.
Right.
Yeah, you got him winning the whole championship last year.
No, I just had them winning their own side.
All right, guys, we got one game left from the season, and obviously it's the big game, the Super Bowl, coming up on Friday.
Coming up Friday, huh?
Coming up on Sunday, February 12th. For those that are around Southland Casino and Hotel in scenic West Memphis, Arkansas, we will have the game on all over the building. We got a party going on in the sports bar that day, starting at 4 o'clock. We also have some viewing opportunities at our new chairman's bar to watch the game as well. So if you have nothing to do, have 0 friends, or might be subscribers of this podcast, by the way, we'd like it if you would do that. Thanks, Kevo. Well, look at him being right on it today.
Yeah, we have
I feel good about this.
They can
some
bring their
Bentley
friends.
mobile app promotions as well for the Super Bowl, so they want to keep their eyes on that as well. So I know one of them is a no-brainer that's coming.
Yeah, you want to just give a little tease on that?
Yeah, basically, if you think a team combined total points is going to be more than 1 point, make that bet. I think there's a max bet you can do of $20, but I'm not sure. You have to check the details on that when it comes out. It's not out yet. It might be out. It's coming out today or tomorrow.
All right, so let me get this right. If a point scored, which it has to be in this game because there's no ties in Super Bowls.
And you can't score 1 point.
There's never been a Super Bowl scoring 0. I know that for sure.
Yep.
So this is basically getting $20 of Nick's money again, or up to.
Yeah, he's just getting nutty.
No wonder he's not on
That's
today.
why he didn't show up today.
He's like, uh-oh.
He's probably no longer employed with the company after that.
He's at the bank trying to get all of his assets together.
I can just see that. Let me get this right. If there is a point scored, we're just going to give $20 to somebody.
Actually,
that's a great promotion.
You know.
It is actually if you're the consumer.
You know what fits perfect in, because you did the voice too, is I can see that coming from Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones just wants to pay people $90 million for him not to work for him anymore.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sorry.
I'd like to pay him $90 million not to own the team anymore. But I know it's going to be considerably more than that.
Considerably more.
I've got $1.
I don't know if he would take it. If somebody offered, let's say, $8 billion in cash and walked into his office and said, I want the team tomorrow, here's $8 billion. I'm not even sure he would sell it.
Absolutely not.
Which is why
I got stranger danger. Stranger danger, folks waving at us over here.
Oh, hey.
Stranger danger.
Hey, stranger dangers. Maybe they're here for our great Super Bowl picks, guys. We got 57 props plus the regular game. So I guess we should get to it, right? 57 props. Keep in mind these prop bets are kind of like these additional side bets you can do during the game. The Super Bowl is by far the #1 event for prop bets. You can get anything from coin toss to color a Gatorade.
How long the national anthem is going to be.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stuff like that. Or first pass, how long that'll be. I mean, there's really endless amounts of bets depending on what platform you use,
right?
Where you go.
Because some of the stuff we talk about here may not be offered here at retail. Will be on the mobile, and same vice versa. And then every mobile device is different for what prop bets they offer. Retail throughout the countries are different. You know what they offer compared to Vegas. I mean, you go to Vegas, you're going to get everything.
Right.
So
you got to find the value in the prop bets since there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And then the way I structure these is most of these prop bets that we're going to talk about should have some sort of effect on the outcome of the game, other than I did throw a couple of fun ones in there, like the first one, the coin toss, because
I was going to say,
obviously that's pretty much anywhere. You can get that on almost every prop or place that I've seen prop bets. This one's on.
I was disappointed you didn't put the Gatorade color in here.
I don't like Gatorade color.
Yellow.
For
all the
yellow.
Denver Bronco fans, they can be participants by having yellow Gatorade.
Well, to me, and I know there's supposed to be safeguard, but let's say you go with the Gatorade prop, right?
Yeah,
in theory, there's only
it.
2 teams, and they know what color Gatorade they're serving.
We have it.
So this prop bet ought to be
Call
really
them
down to 2 Gatorade colors, and then it depends on what team you think is going to win. You think Kansas City's Gatorade would be green or red, and you think Philly's would be green,
Maybe.
or
Might be yellow.
yellowish.
Or because they know everybody's going to bet on it, they're going to drink the blue Gatorade because they like it better.
Yeah.
Inside information. Keep in mind, all these picks are free.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to go? We got our producer Kevin that submitted some of these as well, so we're going to let him in on the action, see if he can.
Man, he typed
beat us
it out
for
and
once.
everything.
He did excellent job.
Good thing we're not giving him a mic.
We would have got him a mic, but the wrong person showed up for that.
What?
If Preston would have did the no show, but Nick showed up, we could have got the mic over there.
We
are going to work on that now. Microphones are easy to get. All right, here we go.
All right.
Coin
Speaking
toss,
from behind.
gentlemen.
Coin
It can
toss.
only be heads or tails. Each is minus 120, so there's juice factored in here. Meaning, for those that are just joining us, if you bet, it'd take you $120 on the table to get $100 profit back. So there you go, guys. Let's go, and we'll go all in this order. We'll go around the horn here. We'll start with Kevin in each one of these. Kevin has a stat for this for those interested.
Let's see if it matches
So
mine.
far in the 56 previous Super Bowls, 27 heads, 29 tails. He says heads is due, so that's what he's picking. He's picking heads.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he went total. I went percentage.
Oh, see,
Well, I'll let you go ahead and spit that fact out.
48% heads, 52% tails.
So almost a coin flip.
Yep.
I was just going to flip a coin and see what happens, but
Yeah, do
Go
that.
ahead.
actually, I know that
What
when I looked and saw, I didn't look at all the Super Bowls. I looked at it. 4 out of the last 5 years have been heads.
Oh.
So I took heads.
Four of the last
you think it's
5.
going to continue?
Yep,
All
4
right.
out of the last 5.
Yeah, that's
Preston's
right.
going heads.
I'm taking I'm rolling on my roulette banking, trying to bet the same number every time.
What'd Kevin pick? Heads?
He pick heads.
So you're right. 4 of the last 5 because it went tails, heads, tails, heads. I'm going tails.
Okay.
Get it? Tails are due.
Tails are due.
Tails
So
are
there
due.
you go. That's a fun bet that you'll know right away before the game kicks off if you won or lost.
Right.
All right,
What-
next.
What'd you pick?
I get
Pick
early
that.
money.
Oh, I'm sorry, heads.
We can't read your mind.
We got 3 heads and a tail.
We'll put Nick down here as we'll say that it stayed on its side. I'll put side.
Right.
All right,
He's going to
first,
lose every one of these.
the team to actually win that coin toss,
Oh, yeah.
being heads or tails, however it turns out, Kansas City and Philadelphia, once again, minus 120 on both sides because there's really no strategy to this. It's pretty much luck. Kevin says he's going to take Philly, and his reason is the last 9 teams who've actually won the coin toss have lost the game. Hopefully that trend continues.
You're fired, sir.
He's going Philly.
Kansas City won the coin toss when they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Well,
Are you sure about that?
Well,
I'm sure Kevin stayed up all night for this.
he
stat.
probably did, but he probably skipped the Kansas City one.
because he's such a big fan that he's rooting for him to win.
Such a huge fan. What do you got there, Preston?
I've got the Chiefs because they're the ones calling it. So I figure since they know heads has been coming up and they're going to call heads, they're going to win the toss.
All right, Mark.
Unfortunately, I'm going with Preston. I'm going with KC.
All right. I'm going to take Philly for the reasons because I think Kansas City's going to say tails. It's going to come up heads. That'll give Philadelphia the toss. And they will defer.
No, they
I
won't.
guarantee. Whoever the team ends up winning the toss will defer.
I don't think so.
You think they'll take the ball?
I
very
think they'll
first?
take the ball and try to go down and score first because
Well, that-
both the offenses are so potent.
That is not a prop bet,
And
but I
I-
bet you can find it somewhere.
I don't know if you heard the phone was ringing. That was Nick. He said he's taking Dallas to win the coin toss. All right, moving on.
Smells right. All right, next one on there.
That's about what he would
The first team to commit an accepted penalty, so not a penalty that's declined, but an actual accepted penalty. They think Philadelphia is more inclined to do this at minus 125. KC is at minus 115. Kevin says The Chiefs will get the first accepted penalty as they have 112 penalties compared to 100 or 99 for the Eagles on the season. So KC's the more penalized team if you're just looking at it on a seasonal basis.
So what's he taking?
He's taking Kansas City will get the first accepted penalty on him.
All right.
I'm taking Kansas City as well, just because I think they'll have the ball first, and usually the false starts are the first.
Hold?
Yeah, the first ones are the false starts of the holds. So they're going to be on offense first. I'm going to go with them and take a little bit better on the odds.
So you think Kansas City's going to get the penalty called on them? And Philly's going to accept it.
Either a holding or a false start because they're going to have the ball first. That's what I think.
I'm going to go Philly.
All right.
Because I think the Chiefs are going to have the refs in their pocket.
Oh, well. Welcome to the show, Roger Goodell. It's the best it's ever been.
So that's just going to have to be a battle Philly's going to have to get over when they still beat them and the refs.
Mark, Tom Brady's not playing anymore. They're not in the refs' pockets.
They want Patrick to be the next Tom Brady.
Well.
Well, I'm using the same logic that Preston did, only since I believe Kansas City loses the coin toss and Philly gets the ball first, I think Philly's got the first false start or accepted penalty against them.
So we're going together.
Yeah, we're going together, man.
All right.
I'd
brother pick for free.
All right. Team with the most accepted penalties total in the entire game. Once again, Philly at minus 135, which is a little weird considering Kevin's stat.
Right.
They were penalized less throughout the year. Kansas City at minus 105. So they must not factor the refs into that, Mark. Kevin says on this one, Chiefs are going to have the most accepted penalties since they were the more penalized team all year.
I would agree with him.
That they were the most accepted penalties? Yeah.
And my thing is, I'm looking at the money. I mean, it's a coin toss here, too. But since it's 105 for Kansas City, and I feel like Philly's pass rush is going to come after Mahomes all they can, I think they're going to get a whole lot of holding penalties. So
who's going to get the holding penalty? Philly?
Kansas City. Trying to keep that pass rush from getting to Mahomes.
Most accepted penalty. So I'm reading this as if Philadelphia will get the penalties called against them and Kansas City will accept them. Right? Wrong.
No.
Oh.
That's a nice try. Try to flip that around.
Team with the most penalties called on them that are accepted. Think of it that way. Who you got?
Well, that's not what this says. That's
team with
deceptive.
most accepted penalties.
Right.
Team with most accepted penalties. Team with most accepted penalties. Team. The next one. Okay. I'm going to go.
Team to commit first penalty. Then there's total amount.
Yeah. Let's go Kansas City.
Thank you. We all are in Kansas City.
Everybody.
All
and
right.
the reason I do is I think Kansas City's going to try to pass more, and usually when you pass more of those false starts / holding calls happen. All right, team with the most penalty yardage. Now, usually this is a flip a coin because, the accepted penalty yards total.
Yeah, right.
Because usually somebody's going to get some sort of 30, 40-yard pass interference call that's going to skew this a little, but that's where Kansas City now, from the odds makers, thinks they'll get the most yardage at minus 125. So it's odd that they think that Philadelphia have the most accepted penalties, but Kansas City by yardage will have more yards under their penalties.
Well, that's because I think they're thinking like I am, where Philadelphia get penalized more because they want Kansas City to march down the field because they can't do it on their own. That's where I think they're thinking that.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you a guess what Kevin guessed here.
Kansas City.
Yeah, you got it. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Chiefs averaged 4 a game over the last 3 games. The Eagles have averaged 3 over the last 3. So 4 is better than 3, or more than 3, not better. Oh, you can only get this kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I that was the 5.
Uh-oh.
I read the wrong stat. He used the same 112 versus 99.
Right.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Stats.
Just stats, baby. He still says Kansas
hashtag
City.
stats.
What do you got? Who's got more yardage?
I've got Philly.
You got Philly?
Philly?
I do because I feel like Kansas City will be playing from behind, so they're going to throw the ball more, and Philly's secondary is very aggressive. So if you catch 2 or 3 of those pass interference calls for 20 yards, 25 yards, it will throw their yardage way up quickly.
So Philly's going to get more
versus
yards.
all the holding penalties and stuff.
I got you.
Philly's going to get the most penalties. I'm going Kansas City because I think what you said, Shane, that
Holdings.
The pass interference. Mahomes are going to chuck it down there, and there'll be an accidentally hand slap, and they'll get called on a penalty. And
I think he's going to be throwing a lot.
If you think that, then you want to take Philly.
Why?
Because the penalty yardage will go against Philly for the pass interference when Mahomes tries to chuck it to somebody.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I want to go Philly.
Yeah, you're the same.
Sorry, you're
same reasoning I had.
No,
yeah. I'm all confused on this piece.
I'm going KC. I know.
KC, gotcha.
I didn't think this had to be tough.
It is. It's complicated.
Next one. Kansas City. Or Philadelphia. Who's going to punt the ball more on Sunday? Kansas City's favored to punt more at -130. Philadelphia at -110 here. And that's where Kevin said that the Chiefs average 4 punts a game. Philly right now 3 over their last 3 games.
Who's it going with?
So Kevin's going with the Chiefs punting more.
Is it going strictly with what has the best stats?
Me too.
He's just being a stat whore.
Yep, that's it. He's got all the stats.
And Preston's going with KC?
Yeah, I'm going with KC.
All right.
Yeah, you got to.
Philadelphia usually controls the ball pretty well and can make long drives and marches. So
You got to if you know where the game's going. I'm going KC as well.
Mark's going KC. I'm going Philly.
Well, that's a shock. Not really.
No, because I think they're going to be a little tighter. I know some of the members of the offensive line and a couple guys on the defense were in their last Super Bowl in 2017, but other than that, it's going to be a lot of first-timers. And usually they tend to be a little tighter early in the game, not wanting to make mistakes, a little more conservative. We'll see if that's the case, but that usually means a few more punts early in the game, and then they get in their groove, and you don't see as many. So give me Philly, -110. Team to get the most first downs in the entire game. Currently, Kansas City is -105. Philly's at -135, so this leads you to believe Philly's going to longer drives, more first downs in this case. But Kevin says, hey, you want a stat? Chiefs average almost 24 first downs, according to him, a game, and Philly averages 23. One more.
It's still a coin toss.
Yep. So here you got, Kevin says Chiefs.
I actually have the Chiefs as well.
All right.
I think the Philly gets bigger chunk yardage in their plays. They have a lot longer plays over the course of the year. So I think that Kansas City, because of Kelsey getting 10 yards here, 10 yards there, will methodically move the ball down there, at 10 yards, 15 yards a chunk, where Philly's going to take the longer plays. Okay. So even though I think Philly will score more, I think Kansas City controls the ball a little better.
100% agree with Preston on that. 100%. I think I'm going Kansas City. Same belief. Exact same.
I'm going KC more because I think Philly's going to punt more. So in theory, they wouldn't get as many first downs. But it goes with the chunk plays too. I mean, if it took Kansas City 3 first downs to get 50 yards, Philly might get it in one play.
Right.
I got you. So I'm not going to argue with that.
Oh boy, here we go trying to explain this one.
All right, this is one of the fun ones. Will there be an octopus scored?
Is that hockey?
No, they throw them.
They throw them on the ice in hockey.
Is that hockey?
So, once again, no, it's not damn hockey.
Oh, I thought someone were going to hockey.
An octopus would be a player scores a touchdown, running or passing, or receiving, not passing. It's got to be a rush or a receiving touchdown. And then they get the 2-point conversion. The same player ends up on the end of the scoring the 2-point conversion.
Someone just made up a name and said, here, let's make it.
That's 8 points if you're following along. 8 points, 8 octopus legs, arms, whatever you want to call them, and that's where they come the octopus. Now, Kevin, this is the weird stat from Kevin. No, he says. Last successful one was on 2-5-17 by James White and Danny Amendola, both from New England, but I know that fact's wrong because I can tell you when that happened sooner.
Oh, no.
You
He's
ready?
been all night looking them up. Oh.
Yeah,
There's been a couple of them happen this year, hasn't there?
Yes.
I was fixing that happened this year in the regular season.
Was it just Super Bowl, Kevin? Yeah, he just
he
looking
was
at
looking for
Super Bowl stats.
Okay.
Super Bowl stats. Oh,
Yeah.
you're just looking for the Super Bowl. My bad. It didn't say just in the Super Bowl.
Well, right there on the top.
I know they had some this
All
year.
right. Anyway, he's saying no. Now here, last 25 years, which means the 2-point conversion became available in pro in 1994. 998 successful 2-point conversions. Only 140 of those ended up in the octopus scenario that we talked about. So 14%. Now, out of that, got a question for you guys. What players have scored the most octopuses? in
Tom
their
Brady.
career?
No.
But Tom Brady was connected with one of them.
I'm gonna go with Mahomes.
Okay. 2 guys have 3.
Two guys have 3.
2 guys have 3. That's the most individual ones. to score.
Probably Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Actually, I like the Lamar thing because I thought that would be the case too. No, Randy Moss and Todd Gurley.
Oh.
They both have 3. The team that has the most in the NFL,
New England.
and that's at 10.
New England.
So one team has 10. He's got New England.
No, I don't think it's New England. They don't go for a whole lot of 2-point conversions.
Not now.
Seattle.
Not now, he says. The Packers,
Oh, Packers.
of all teams, have 10.
Oh, yeah.
And the old Cleveland Browns, they're the only team to not even record 1. Cowboys have 1.
Do they?
Browns do not.
Well,
So all that said, is it a no? Is it a no? Is it a no?
I am saying yes.
Oh, my
my
goodness.
gosh.
Preston's
Only-
taking a shot.
Only because if I'm going to have to make a bet on this, I'd rather take the plus 950 than the minus 10,000. If I'm going to lay anything, so I'm trying to make some money. But with the players that you have in the game, I think that, Hurts or Mahomes, either one could score one if they needed to. I also think that you got Miles Sanders or Travis Kelce that are big red zone guys that could score one as well if they needed to. So
Yeah,
I'm going to go with yes, just to take the odds.
The interesting one in here is I got the note that there's never been one in the Super Bowl. Kevin says there was, so I'm going to have to check that out. And then the other one was the last one that just occurred recently was by Jalen Hurts against the Bears in December.
There you go.
There you go. Your boy's in it, so that's why he's saying
That's
yes.
why I said yes. I mean, I feel like it could happen, and the way
All
these
right.
two teams are going to need to score points, I feel that maybe it could happen. Give me the odds.
I'm saying no because they get down there. They're just going to put the point on the board, keep it rolling, not do anything stupid, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
How would you like to lose by 1 point in the Super Bowl because you went for 2 and missed it?
That would be ballsy.
Well, I mean,
Even if it was an octopus, though.
sometimes
That's
you
what we're
got
talking
sometimes you got to throw crazy bets. I mean, what about the guy that scored the safety a couple years ago that won all that money?
But you think it's going to be
first
close,
play
and I
was a
don't.
safety.
I don't
That's-
think the game's going to be close, so I don't think there's going to be any reason for him to do that.
Goodness. All right. So we got no's across the board with the exception of Preston, who says, go ahead and take a shot. On
I'm
that
a
plus
gambler. Give it to
950.
me.
Give it to him.
Think gambling, man.
All right, 9 total interceptions during the game. That's both teams combined. Basically, is it going to be 2 or more or 1 or less? Because you're not going to get half an interception.
What?
2 or more gets you plus money at plus 115. And if you don't think there'll be at least 2, it's a little juice there at 165. Kevin says, let's see what his stats. Over. You just need 1 per team. Hurts will inevitably scramble and make an ill-advised throw.
Yeah, I think
this is Jalen Hurts, not Dak Prescott, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, then this would definitely be like 3.5.
Right. If it was
Go ahead,
Dak
you got that
Prescott
ready?
playing, I'd take the over on him by myself.
All right. What Kevin says, no.
He says no.
No.
No what?
No.
He's going over. he's going over.
You might have to hold cue cards for him, Kevin.
I'm gonna have to scratch these out as I go through. That's the easy one to do it. All right. So he says no. What do you got, Preston?
I think it's going to go over. I feel like maybe they'll be able. No, he still said no again.
That was a joke. Yes, he went over.
I'll take the over. I think that the secondary for the Eagles is pretty good, and maybe you'll get a late deep throw at the halftime or something like that and pick one up. I'm going to take over.
What do you
I
got?
get plus money.
Yep. Plus money.
I'm going over. Mahomes definitely throws more than 1.
I got 1 apiece, so that equals 2, and I'm going over. So you got yes.
Yeah, I got yes.
All right. So everybody over on this one. Total tax.
Yes,
Total
tax.
recorded by Kansas City. So will Kansas City get 3 sacks and more, or 2 or less? If you say more, it's minus 125. If you don't think they'll get 3, it's minus 115. Kevin's got the over. They're averaging
Shock.
3.3 a game is what he's got on there. So he says, I like that. That's more than 2.5.
Yeah, they're averaging 3.3 a game, but they're playing the Raiders and the Broncos. I'm going to take the under because I think Jalen Hurts will scramble out of a lot of those situations. So I don't think they'll get 3 of them.
Okay.
Bingo. Same thing. Under. Same reasoning.
Yep, and usually to have sacks, you got to be passing, and I just think Kansas City's going to be passing more than Philly. So the opportunities to get sacks ain't going to be there, and it's one thing that I can say about Philly's offensive line, and it is probably the best one in the NFL. So it's going to be tough to get sacks anyway. I'm going to go under. Total sacks by Philly, same number at 2.5, but if you think it's 3 or more, you get plus money here at 105. Under is minus 150.
You got that backwards. Over is minus 150 because they think they're going to get to him.
Is that what I said?
You said you were getting
Plus money for under, I meant. If I
There
said
you go.
over, yeah. Plus money for under, so 2 or less. 3 or more is minus 150.
right.
All right, so Kevin says over because Philly averages 4 a game.
Yep, I agree.
You agree?
I'm
You're
going to
going
go
over.
the over. Yeah, we got a good pass rush, so I think that we'll get to Mahomes.
All right, Mark.
As much crap as I talk about Nebraska Cornhuskers, who's one of the top players on the defensive line there
Clark.
for Philadelphia?
I don't know any Philadelphia that
then
went to
Dominican
Nebraska.
Sue?
Yes, sir.
Sue?
and him alone is going to get more than 2.5.
Whoa!
Over.
Wow. That's
Mark
that's
says-
a whole different prop bet, sir.
That is a whole different prop bet.
That's an odds brothers boost on that one. That's not a prop bet.
I'm going to go under. I think Kansas City realizes
Lord.
what's coming after him. I don't think that, and I think Mahomes' ankle is going to be good enough to scramble around some. Mahomes doesn't get sacked a lot. You look throughout the history of the career, he throws a lot of balls out of bounds or just downfield 100 yards. He doesn't get sacked a bunch because he's moving usually around in that pocket a little too much. He's not a stay and plant QB. So we got 3 overs and 1 under.
Well,
All right.
I do hope that he stays in the game the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I want to see a good game, but
I don't wanna hear him
know that his
crying.
ankle is not 100%. It's not going to be by game time.
They'd be like, "Oh, he would have. If they would have won, if he could have been healthy."
Well, they sure ain't going to see Brock Purdy with one arm in this game. That's for sure. All right,
Still
total.
should have played Christian McCaffrey.
Yes. Total punts by Kansas City, 3.5. If you think it's going to be 3 or less, you get plus money at 105, minus 150 if they have 4 or more. Kevin says, hey, over. Both teams average 4 per game in the last 3. So Kevin's an over.
Yep, I'll go over for Kansas City.
You'll go over Kansas City, okay?
Yep,
Preston?
that was me.
Mark?
I made my decision, sir.
Sorry.
I'm like,
I'm not changing my mind. That is my final answer.
That's your final answer. All right, now we go to Mark.
I thought you said over. I'm going to go under, and I believe it's going to be under because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of punting going on. When Kansas City gets behind, they're going to try going for it on the 4th downs.
Yep, I got under as well. I think it'll be right at 3, and those 3 will come early. And to your point, I just think there'll be a lot of offensive, and you'll know by my score because I predicted the score too that shouldn't be a lot of punting
not
with the score
college.
that I'm coming in.
It's not college.
All right. What do you mean it's not college?
70 to
It's not going to be quite that
66.
bad. Yeah.
Xbox scoring.
Not going to be a Big 12 game. All right, total punts by Philly, same number. Not quite same. Both give you negative here. Under 3 or less is minus 105, and 4 or more is minus 140. Kevin just says, hey, this one he likes under. 'Cause
Under?
They go 3 per game. For some reason, he had both.
I thought a stat before that
He
said
did. Said both average 4 per game, and then underneath on 13, he says under. Both average 3 per game in the last 3.
Oh, good
And the
Lord.
last 3.
And the other one was the last 3 as well, but they both
Oh.
average 4. So I think what he meant is Kansas City averages 4 and Philly averages 3 in the last 3 games.
Gotcha.
He's going under here.
All right. Under ruse.
I'm going under 2.
Oh, my goodness. All right. That's a shock.
Is it?
It is.
I'm going under because, I mean, they may punt once, twice, tops, scoring the rest of the time.
Give me over all day long, gentlemen.
That's wishful thinking, sir. Wishful thinking.
We're just building up to where
And you know
we
what?
think he's going to
I'm
go.
probably going to get over that number by halftime.
Oh, good Lord.
How about that? Hot take. Philly has 4 punts by half.
Fly, Eagles, fly. You better
All right.
start singing that song today.
Total punts between the 2 teams, so basically 8 is the number here. If you think it's under 8, 130, 8 or more is minus 110,
Well,
guys.
you got to be going over.
Well, Kevin says under because when you average 4 and 3 together, that's 7, and that's under 7.5. So he's taking under here.
That's good math.
That's good math.
That is good math. So you need a camera on you where everybody can see that.
We actually got him to laugh. That's awesome.
I'm going over. I figure it's going to be Kansas City 5, Philadelphia 3. That's 8. That puts me a little bit over.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Wow.
And my money's better on that side.
Well, if both my spots were under, I got to go with the Kevin math.
That would probably. Or you could go with your earlier in the year math
Yeah.
and go under, over.
Yeah, I could kind of block everything. I've lost that one, won this one. I win because I win.
I think it's right at 7 myself. I went under.
Oh.
I have 4 for Philly and 3 for Kansas City.
You're nuts.
Well, yeah, I guess that could happen. All right, here we go. We got a special graphic for this one.
Ye special. I don't see it. Are you sure?
Is this not in order there, Kevin, or is that later down the road?
First scoring play.
First scoring play in the game.
Oh, I fit all this on there. I'm thinking the first player to score one. Okay, so yeah, the first scoring play of any type in the Super Bowl, regardless of team. So you got, here you go. Philadelphia's touchdown is plus 190 here. If a Kansas City touchdown occurs, it's 205. Kansas City field goal or a Philly field goal both have the same odds at plus 425. If you think a safety will be scored by either team, it's plus 5,000. Note that the special defensive touchdown would count as the touchdown in this format if you didn't specifically say defense. So for this math, if it's a defensive touchdown, it will count just as a regular touchdown for the pick of this game.
What about
Or this-
special teams?
That's not part of the bet, sir.
It's not part of the bet.
So the kickoff
So,
to Philly
no,
and Philly runs it back for a touchdown?
Then it would be
That's a Philly
it would
touchdown.
count as a Philly touchdown in
Gotcha.
this particular case.
Gotcha.
All right, Kevin says it's KC touchdown, and he had zero stat to back that up.
Well, that's because he was drunk.
Some of the
He
best.
got tired of the stats.
Excuse me, some of the best picks are made that way.
Yeah.
What do you think, Preston?
I have a Kansas City field goal. I'm going back to what I said earlier. I think they get the ball first. They'll march down a little bit because they're hyped up and ready to go, and then Philly's defense will step up, stop them, and make them kick a field goal.
All right.
I agree with that 100%. KC field goal.
It's out of my notes, sir.
And I got KC touchdown. So we all think KC's going to score first in this game of some variety.
I think you and Kevin were doing shots last night.
Might be. Well, the next prop bet, will any quarter end scoreless? No team scores at all within a quarter. If you say no, it's minus 770. If you think yes, it's plus 380. So generally, there's a heavy bias toward at least one team's going to score every single quarter. Kevin says, well, any quarter end scoreless. He says, yes, it happened in 17, 19, and 21. So he's going with the every other year route. And guess what this year would
Oh.
be? 23.
Yeah, but you know the teams that were playing in those Super Bowls are not the Chiefs and the Eagles. So I'm going no.
Yeah. That's probably the best stat of the day right there
Your
from Preston.
stats are skewed.
Well, I'm kind of cornering the market here a little bit. So let's just say, what happens if Kansas City doesn't go down to score a field goal right away?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And Philly comes out lackadaisical and doesn't score. I said yes because I think that first quarter is going to be scoreless.
Usually, if that's the case, if there is going to be a scoreless quarter, it is the first.
I think the first quarter will be scoreless when the game kicks off. After that, it's not going
That's right.
to be able to do it.
I got a whole no, too, because I expect high scoring, and so I got scoring in every quarter.
Great. So now me and Kevin
So we
were
got
drinking last
two
night.
yes.
You know, it's a common theme where Kevin's drinking every time.
Could be could be one of those contact buzzers.
Yeah.
All right, both teams to score in each quarter. So not just a score, but both teams have to score something every quarter. If you think that's going to happen, you get 6 times your money at plus 600. If you don't think that'll happen, it's negative 2,000. So the heavy thought is both teams will not score every single quarter of the game. Kevin says no as well, and he gave no stat.
Well, it's because the first one's yes.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
So when he goes yes, he falls with a no. That's his stat.
Well,
Well, I'm gonna go with yes and take the money.
Okay.
I think the teams obviously
to go- you have to go yes.
have a chance to score every quarter. So if I'm getting 6-1 on my money,
Well, you don't have to because you just gave us a scenario, Mark, where the first quarter scoreless.
you did.
And you believed it so
both
hard that you
teams to
looked into the
score in each
camera?
quarter. So if they don't score, if I say it's going to be scoreless, I have to go no.
That's correct.
Right.
And if you think that
So you having to go no? I guess you don't have to. We just
I'm
make
going
fun
no,
of
yeah,
you. All
it's
right.
just I could corner the market again.
Just
No.
betting against himself.
I will roll that beautiful bean footage
like
on
going-
Monday.
It's like going to the roulette table and putting a whole bunch of money on red and black. I can't lose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
I
you
win.
And then green
The
shows
green,
up.
the green juice beats you. The green juice beats you.
I'm going with Preston, yes. I think each team will have something, even a field goal, in each quarter of this game.
Yep.
All right.
Wait.
First team to score a touch, or not anything, not just
Yeah,
a touch.
first
It's going to
team
be
to
a field
score.
goal.
Yeah.
Will it be Kansas City at minus 110 or Philadelphia minus 130?
Well, I think we all know the answer to this one since we picked it up at
top.
number 15.
Up top.
We all picked Kansas City to score some way first.
Well, yeah, Kevin did. I
Kevin
did.
says Philly.
No, Kevin says KC.
Way to try to make him bet against himself.
I was trying.
I obviously think Kansas City scoring the first touchdown in the game. I guess that
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean they score first, but I do think Kansas City scores first.
I got the field goal first. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's still showing them first. So
Yeah, me too. As
All right.
I said, field goal.
So all Kansas City on the team to score first. Last team to score in the game. Philly minus 125 versus Kansas City 115. So odds makers are basically saying Philadelphia is scoring first and last in this game. Kevin
that's
says
good.
Philly.
That's good odds makers.
Philly will score last because they will score a garbage touchdown late.
Yeah, because by that time they'll already be 7. They'll be up 7. And what's another 7?
Right. The garbage touchdown they're going to score late is a Mahomes pick 6. So I'll go with Philly too.
All
I
right.
love it. I love it.
Preston goes Philly.
I'm going Philly
Mark's
because they're
going Philly?
destroying them.
And while I don't call it a garbage touchdown, I do think Philly has the last one because they'll need 2 scores to try to win the game, and they get one of them at the end. All of us are going Philly.
Yeah, I'm going to roll this video back when you're singing.
All right. Successful 2-point conversion in this game. If you think so, 220 and -1 or 345. If not, Kevin's stat is absolutely nothing other than no. There will not be a 2-point conversion successfully scored in this game.
Well, I'm going to go with yes because I already picked the octopus.
Yeah.
So if I pick the octopus, it's going to be a yes, then they're going to have to score a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Look at you doing the math.
Yeah, see there?
What'd you pick on that octopus?
Everybody else
I
picked
said no.
I'm going no.
No, I do have a yes for a 2-point conversion because I think Philly's going to need it. They're going to be down 2 scores, and they're going to get a 2-point conversion.
All right.
Yes.
You see how he keeps trying to punch that in there.
I do.
Stay tuned to see how Shane
it.
picks the final game.
We'll see. You'll know when he's sitting here singing the song.
All right, special teams touchdown. Will that happen? So that or defensive. Run back, punt return, interception return, fumble return. That's where all these go. If no, it's -400. If you think they'll at least be one of these bad boys, it's +245. Kevin says no. The last one was in 2014. No, sorry, 17 at Super Bowl 51. Do you know who did it?
Was the Saints, wasn't it?
No, it was the old Atlanta choke game against New England.
Oh, the Matt Ryan 28-3.
Yes. Robert Alford from Atlanta did a pick 6. It didn't help as they choked at the end, and then Kevin wanted to make sure we said, sorry, Steve-O, because he's the old big Atlanta fan. So Kevin's going no. No defensive or punt returns or anything like that.
I've got no as well. I know I made that joke earlier about the Patrick Mahomes pick 6, but I don't really think that's going to happen.
All right, Mark?
Nope.
And I got no as well. A full board of no's. All right, team to score the first touchdown in the game. Well,
There we go.
I know where Shane's going with this one.
Yeah.
you got to know.
Yeah.
Kevin
He's
says
going no touchdown scored.
obviously going
Right.
Kansas City, so because me and Kevin both picked Kansas City having the first touchdown in the game. So
Well, I have Philly. I've got Kansas
You
City
got
scoring
Philly.
the first field goal, but I think Philly will come right back down the field and score a touchdown.
And there is an option here. If you do not think a touchdown is scored in the entire game, to Preston's point, these are 2 pretty good offenses, even though the defenses aren't that shabby. So there is an option here that if you don't think a single touchdown gets scored in this game, you get +4,000 odds on your
I
money.
can't believe that's not higher, but I'm going Philly as
It
well.
should be higher, but I think they're worried about Andy Reid making a bet on the game and just kneeling on both sides of the ball just to win the money.
Mattress Mac.
Mattress Max influence in the game.
Yeah, all right. So we all got, 2 of us got KC, the other 2 got Philly. You know who's
2
got
winners,
KC.
2 losers.
Right.
There will be.
You can
That's
tell
the
by
good thing about
the
that.
jersey he's wearing right now who the loser is.
Yeah, you think they're in the
Oh,
game.
my God. All right.
They're not in the game, sir.
Kansas, or which team has the highest scoring quarter of the game? So out of the 4 quarters, who scores the most in there? Kansas City gets +130 odds, Philadelphia +110. If you think there's a tie each quarter, or in any quarter rather, so the highest scoring quarter happens to be 20, but they both scored 20 or both scored 10, whatever, there's a tie possibility at +475. Kevo's got Kansas City. They have more of a quick strike offense, thus able to score more points in any given quarter.
Yeah, they did. They did great against
I think you're
Denver.
back. I think you're backwards. Philly has the quick strike offense, and I'm going to go with Philly.
First of all, it's not me that I'm just writing what Kevin wrote.
I was
So
looking at
look
Kevin
over
when
the-
I said
Oh,
it.
did you?
Yeah, I was
I
looking
couldn't
at Kevin
tell.
when I said it.
Because I'm supposed to be looking right at my camera.
He's hiding behind the
And I don't
camera over
believe
here, but I looked right at him and was like,
What do you got, Mark?
I'm going Philly.
You're going Philly?
Yeah, because that one of those quarters would be like 28.
I got Kansas City.
at least 21.
I got Kansas City, but not by much. I think there's a 14-10 quarter, a 24-point quarter score. But Kansas City's got 10 or 14 of those points.
You think that's all the Hire's going to get?
Nope. Oh, in any individual
In one quarter, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
what you're saying.
Most points I got scored in a quarter. Just
Oh.
if you want a preview. I'll find
He
it
wrote
later.
out his box score.
Oh, yeah.
I did. I wrote out my box score just
There
so
you
I
go.
wasn't going to appear to be a mark.
I think you must have lost it. You sitting on it?
I must be. Oh, here it is.
Oh, he found it.
I found it.
All that paperwork.
13 points in the first quarter, 13 in the second, 14 in the third, and 18 in the fourth.
Well, who's got 18?
Well, no, I'm talking between the teams
Oh, I
combined.
was fixing to say that's like
most points-
65 points.
The most points any team has in a quarter is 10, and that's Kansas City twice.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
How about that?
Okay. That's right. You
I had to
should.
drop my pen.
Yeah.
I got excited, Paul. All right, so here we go. Lowest scoring quarter in this game.
Oh.
First quarter is plus 200, so you double your money. Third quarter plus 230. If there's a tie on a low-scoring quarter, it's 500. And then the second and the fourth quarter tend to be where teams are either desperate and are throwing all over the yard, or they're trying to score before the half. They're falling into a flow. Second and fourth quarters are both plus 600. Kevin says lowest score is going to be the first at plus 200.
I'm going to shock you.
Oh, boy.
I'm taking the fourth quarter.
You're taking the fourth quarter, huh?
I am. I get 6-1 on my money, and I feel like Philadelphia will be so far ahead that Kansas City will just be throwing the ball, turning them over, and Philly's just going to try to run the clock out. So the fourth quarter will be the lowest scoring because Philly won't need to score, and they're going to stop Kansas City from scoring.
I like that. I like that analogy a lot. However, I'm going first because I think that if there's going to be the lowest scoring, it's just going to be if Philadelphia sputters, it's only going to be in the first quarter. Kansas City will kick that field goal, 3-0 total. So I'm going first quarter. If they sputter, if they don't sputter, then you're spot on.
Yeah, well, and I'm the one with the tie because I just told you my quarter breakdown. I have 13 in the first and 13 in the second, so that's a tie. So give me the plus 500, and I say there's a tie for the low-scoring quarter.
Boy.
All right, either team record a safety. Usually there's not. Last one was back in Peyton Manning's day, I believe, with the Broncos. It was the first play of the game when the ball got snapped over his head.
That guy won a ton of money off that bet.
That guy won a ton because not only did he say there was going to be a safety, he actually bet the first play of the game.
First score of the game would be a safety.
First score,
yeah. First score of the game was a safety.
Whoops. So minus 3,335, and then plus is 750 if you think there will be. This is at any time, not the first score. Kevin says no. Last safety is in 14, Seattle against Manning and the Broncos. So he just got from my memory banks there. So there's a no there, Kevin.
I don't know if that was the last one.
Last safety scored in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl stats.
Okay, I know there was one where he ran out the back of the end zone trying to run the game out.
That was Jimmy Garoppolo? Oh, no, never mind.
No, he snapped it to the punter, and he kind of ran around and ran out the back of the end zone because just happened to help a square board somewhere down along the line.
That's how you remember.
So I remember that one.
Beautiful.
What do you say, Preston?
I've got no.
All right.
I've got no.
I got hell no.
Yeah.
Offenses are too good for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, the next on the board, total touchdowns by Kansas City. If you think they'll go 3 or more, it's minus 160. And if you think they won't score but 2 or less, it's plus money at 110. Kevin's got, of course, the over in this game, or in this prop bet. Kansas City scores more than 2.5 touchdowns.
Is there an alternate spread where I can say 1.5 and still go under?
You can if you want. We'll make it the Preston special.
Well, I am taking the under.
You are taking the under, but you think it'll even be under one. It'll be 1.
Yeah, I've got him at 1 touchdown.
Jot it down in there.
So it's 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I do. I got 1 touchdown.
I'll even give you plus 200 on that.
Okay, good.
Write it down.
Plus 200. I'll give odds for Preston 1 touchdown or less by Kansas City's plus 200.
Oh, yep. I love your thinking, but I think Chiefs go over.
I do too, obviously.
Over. I don't even have them scoring 20 points in the game, so it's got to be under.
Ooh.
You picked the wrong week to be sniffing glue. Hey, Kevin, give him that OC one.
Not going to be able to do it.
Thank you. Total touchdowns by Philly. Oh, I wonder what he's gargling here. 2.5. So if Philly gets 3 or more touchdowns, you get minus 190. So basically less than 1/2 to 1, basically. And the under, 130. You get positive money there. Kevin says, oh, well, never mind. He says over. So he's giving your boys credit to at least scoring 3 touchdowns in this game.
That's right.
As he should.
Right.
Is this over 190?
I'm not even asking you.
Is it by halftime or is it by the end of the game? Because we got all their alternate bets we can make.
Yeah, how about that?
I've got the over.
Do you think they'll go 3 by halftime?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go 3 by halftime.
And
how many total touchdowns they get for the game?
I've got them at 4 for the game.
So they just get 1 in the second half because they're running out the clock, basically.
Correct.
All right, 4 total.
What's the odds?
Well, the over was minus 190 just on 2.5, so it's going to be faded a little bit. If you think it's just 4 total, I'll give them even money.
Okay, I'll take even money.
All right.
I'm going over. Shouldn't shock you.
You are?
Yep. Don't be adding no silly stuff with it.
You want to know what I'm doing?
I know what you're
Under,
doing.
because I think they get 2 touchdowns.
Wow, you are wrong. That shirt's affecting your brain.
Hey, let me double. Let me double check my quarter scoring here.
we
One
don't need to.
touchdown, Oh, no. I do have him at 3.
Nope.
Damn.
Ticket punched.
I got to go over.
Ticket was punched. Sir, you can't cancel your ticket. You're going to have to
He's
see
got
the
his box
manager.
score written down, sir. He's allowed to look at it before
Yeah, wait a minute.
finalizing his bet.
I let you change your accepted penalties crap when you go, wait a minute. If Mahomes threw a deep ball
Right.
and then they get some slap happy.
And I'll probably lose that bet, and I'll probably be right the first time I had it.
All right, we're all over. Who makes the first field
went
goal?
over?
I know who this is because Preston called that was happening. But
Yeah. You know where I'm
Kevin
at.
says the Chiefs on this one.
All
That's a
right.
good bet.
Kansas City for Preston. Mark?
Kansas City for me, because if they do, they will be the first.
I
quarter.
actually think the script gets flipped. Kansas City scores the first touchdown, or Philly gets the first field goal, and then it's game on. So I take Philly
We got a
getting
lot
the
of-
first field goal.
A lot of field goal stuff, huh?
We do. Who makes the most field goals, Kansas City or Philadelphia? In this one, Kevin says it's KC again. They
Yeah,
will do
well,
more
he
field
should.
goals.
Yep, me too.
You do too. All right.
Yeah, I got it 3-1.
Mark,
Yeah, I think Kansas City will too, because they're gonna have trouble scoring. So that's just a dink,
you got
Scoring
3-1
touchdown.
on that?
I do.
dink.
All right, team that makes the most field goals. I got here Kansas City's minus 125. So if you get 3-1, oh, you're not talking odds. You got 3 field goals total for Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking. You got plus 300 somewhere.
No. 3-1. I've got
was
Kansas
gonna say-
City making 3 field goals and Philly making 1.
I got you, Mark.
Kansas City.
Okay, I got KC as well. Not only will they score touchdowns, they'll kick field goals as well. Now, will either team miss a field goal attempt? Yes is plus money at plus 135. If you think that everybody nails every field goal they take that day, it's minus 195. Kevo says no, because Brett Maher isn't playing.
Beautiful.
Can't say much about that.
That is a great response.
All right.
My answer is also no, unless they try a 60-yarder at the end of the half or something like that. But I think that both kickers are very good. And if they're kicking normal field goals, they should make them all.
Okay. Preston says no, there will not be a missed field goal. Mark?
These are the best of the best of the best of the best. Going no.
All right. Actually, I said yes because I envisioned what Preston
Well, you're
was
used
saying
to it.
there.
You're used to it.
And I think Kansas City's going to be the one that
Yeah, I mean, they
Under
may set
2
Butker
minutes
up
and
for
a
a
half.
65-yarder or something
just,
like that.
It's time expired. What the hell? We're going to try to kick it, and then it gets missed. So that's
Right.
how I think the field goal gets missed. All
Mahomes
right.
tries the Hail Mary.
Which team? That might be at the end of the game. I doubt he does it. Well, he might do it at the half. Who knows?
Well,
All
I mean,
right.
they could flip the ball around a few times and then throw it backwards to the quarterback. And
Who makes the longest field goal in the game? Philly at minus 115 or Kansas City at minus 125? Chiefs is going all day for Kevin. He says they'll make the longest field goal on Sunday. What do you got, Preston?
I'll take Philly.
You'll take Philly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crapshoot, and I'm getting better odds with Philly, so I'll take Philly.
Okay.
I'm going Kansas City because they're going to try to have to figure out a way to score. So they're kicking all those field goals. They'll desperately try something.
Well, I say that they make the most field goals, so they have the most attempts to have the longest, so I'm going to go KC as well. Well, either team missed an extra point. Once again, I'm looking for, Maher isn't playing. Kevin did it again. No is minus 455. If you think they'll make all their point after attempts, yes is plus 265. Just to give you an idea, they're both perfect in the postseason. They only missed 2 all year out of 55 for Philly. Kansas City actually missed 5, 50 out of 55, but remember, Butker was hurt for a while, so they
Right.
were play dial kicker for a while during the regular season. So
Kevin-
Kevin says they're going to make them all.
Kevin beat me to the punch because I was going to say that Maher missed enough for this entire postseason, so they're not going to miss any more.
He missed them enough for everybody. You got no then?
No, yeah.
I've got no.
I got no as well.
That's kind of an easy bet.
Well,
I hope so.
It isn't as automatic as you think sometimes in these high-pressure games.
These
Right.
are the best of the
They
best
should.
of the best of the best.
Yeah. All right, next one. Total field goals combined, both teams. 4 or more, you get plus money at 120, and if it's 3 or less, you get minus 170. Kevo says it's going to go over. Chiefs average 2 in the last 3, and the Eagles average 2 in the last 3. Add that together, that is 4.
Is that math again? Sneaking
There's
up
that
on
dang-
you.
There's that dang math.
Well, you know my answer. I already told you I think it's going to be 3-1 Kansas City, so that puts me over.
Yep. Mark,
I'm going over as well.
we're all going over. I think there'll be those kind of field goals.
Yep.
4 or more. All right, shortest made field goal. Do you think they put the number at 26.5 yards? So just to give you an idea what that means is they're kicking a field goal from basically the 9-yard line, give or take. A yard. So not going for the touchdown, but kicking it, which means they're stalled out in the red zone.
Right.
Over is 125. So if you think the shortest field goal is going to be more than that, then it's minus 125. Under, which is odd enough, is 115. Not as much juice as I thought, because you don't see a lot of those little small field goals like that in the NFL in total. Kevo says over. Both teams will go for it if they get inside the 10.
That's exactly right. I'm going over as well because I don't think they're going to settle for field goals. As good as those offenses are, if they get down there, they're going to go for it because they feel like the defense can stop them coming out of that zone. So they'll go for the touchdowns.
All right,
I can see a scenario where they go under, and I'm going under. I see a scenario where Kansas City's down by 10. Time's running out. They need to kick the field goal just to get within 3 or within 7, and then do the onside kick, so I'm going under.
Okay, I was going to say, this ain't fantasy football where you get a 7-point field goal from, but you corrected it. That was good. I went over. I'm agreeing with most of the folks. First of all, I think if the offenses of these two get in the red zone like that, they're probably scoring or going for it.
Right.
But I see that because you don't think Philly's going to be behind. I see Kansas City being behind.
I know. You're right.
Yeah,
And when you're right, you're right.
But I see them being behind by enough where they're not going to try to kick a field goal. They're going to need 2 touchdowns.
Picked the wrong day to stop snooping glue. All right. Longest field goal made in the game. So not attempted, but made 47.5. So 48-yarder or greater. Minus 130 if you think it's under that yard total, or over is minus 110. Kevo, let's see what he has here. Over because of Butker's leg.
It's a good call. I'll take the over as well. Either one of them can make a 48-yard field goal, but I think that Kansas City will probably need to try one at some point. So,
Ding. Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say. And I'm going over.
All right. Well, we're all over on that.
There you go.
I
You got
do.
same philosophy?
Not the same philosophy, but the same end result. All right. The first touchdown score in the game, guys, we're going to bring this up on a different graphic because of how many options there are. So
this one's fun.
We'll go over it real quick. Yeah, because this is, to me, and you guys weigh in when you get your shot here, but to me, this is one of the more fun prop bets to do because you can bet a few different players here and still come out on the positive side of your bankroll. Because the lowest odds right now, Miles Sanders, Philly's running back, is at plus 800. So 8-1. Jalen Hurts at 850. Kelsey at 900. Isaiah Pacheco 1200. A.J. Brown 1250. McKinnon 1400. And you can go down the list here. The interesting one on here I found was Patrick Mahomes at plus 4,000. Now, keep in mind, this is rushing or receiving, not throwing the ball.
Right. He has to run it in for that to count.
Somebody thought that throwing a pass and they were going to jump all over that, and I had to say, hold up, that's not what that means. It has to be rushing or receiving.
Yeah, you'll get that with folks betting.
I know, because they think, well, Patrick Mahomes just threw a touchdown and you're screwing me. That's not what
if
this
he throws
bet
it to
is.
Kelsey, Kelsey gets the credit for it. So.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, which would be completely moronic, but if no touchdowns got scored at all, it'd be plus 20,000. So
which is crazy because on the other one, it's only plus 4,000.
Yes. I know. So if you were going to do that bet, you do it through this.
Correct.
Prop bet, not the other one. Kevin says Travis Kelsey is his pick.
Travis Kelsey.
Yep. So he's going to take that plus 900 and go with Travis Kelsey being the first touchdown score of the game.
Yeah.
What do you got, Preston?
Well, here, this one, I had a lot of fun with this one because I am going for odds.
Okay.
No
because
touchdowns.
my pick.
Boston Scott?
No, my pick is Kenny Gainwell.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a lot more involved in the offense over the last few weeks, and they like to swing past the ball out of the backfield to him. So if they get down close to the red zone or close to the end zone, he has a very, very good chance of catching that ball or even rushing the ball to get into the end zone. And at plus 3,300, I think he makes more sense odds-wise than anybody else on the board.
Now, to add to what you're saying, the only danger that I see is that you need that to be 3 to 5, maybe 6 yards out. If it's 2 or 1 or less, Jalen Hurts, and they do that little triple stack, whatever that is, and just rush in. So that's where Kenneth Gainwell could get screwed in your scenario. But I think if you're from the 3 to 6 yard line, that's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, at plus 3,300, if I'm going to put anything on it, the fact that he's been involved so much the last couple of weeks, I think that odds-wise, he's your best bet to try to make some money off of it anyway.
Yeah. $1 gets you 3,300?
No. $100 gets you 3,300.
Oh, yeah, 100, I mean. Sorry. 330.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or $33 even would be great for a buck. So, yeah, you got a lot of stuff to play with. Mark, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. I'm not going to make it too difficult. They're just going to give him the ball. He's going to run it in.
Well, and they give him the ball, and he runs a lot. I just think that
he'll be about 10 yards out and just might get touched before he gets in the end zone.
You must like Eagles. Like, he must go.
What I hear Mark saying is honestly what he said earlier in the year when they played against the Titans. You know, you're just going to run the ball because Kansas City can't really stop it, and it keeps Kansas City's offense off the field.
Yeah,
so it's not a bad way to try to beat them.
You'll see it Monday when you're singing.
I went with a scenario similar to Preston's, but I used the Kansas City version of this, but closer. Isaiah Pacheco at plus 1,200. Normally you think that'd be a Jerick McKinnon thing, but I think they get just right down to the 2-yard line, and Patrick Mahomes ain't the straight up the middle rush. He doesn't have that body weight or that build to bowl in, but Isaiah Pacheco does. So I think that's how Kansas City scores their first touchdown, is like a 1 to 3 yard Isaiah Pacheco rush right up the gut.
See, and I'm on the other side of that. I think if Kansas City is going to score the first touchdown, and this is going to come into play, I think Kadarius Toney is your best bet. Because he's like a utility knife. They use him all kind of sweeps and everything else. So
that dude's going to pull a muscle coming out for the coin toss. He'll be ruled out before they even start.
We'll see. They used him a lot when he was healthy. We'll see what happens.
Used him a lot.
I mean, when they got close to the goal line, they used him a lot.
Okay. I hope you're right.
Hey,
you know who he plays for. The Chiefs.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to go on that side, that's where I would go.
All right. Will there be a score of any kind in the final 2 minutes of the first half? Yes is minus 370. Historically, there has been a lot of scoring, mostly field goals in the last 2 minutes of a half. No's plus 230. Kevin says just plain yes. No stats to back that up.
Yes. The offenses are too good not to score in a 2-minute drill.
All right, Mark?
Oh, yeah. There'll at least be a field goal put in there somewhere.
Yep. Nah, that's what I got too. Just go ahead and take that minus 4 to 1. Basically, you bet 4 to get 1 on that one. All right. Total first half, over under on the Chiefs, 10.5 points. Over is minus 115. Under that is 125. Kevin's got over. So Kansas City's going to score at least 11 points in the first half, according to him.
Preston's got under.
Preston's got under.
I think they scored 10.
Right on the nut, okay?
I've got over.
You got over?
On the first half, yeah.
Okay, on the first half. Your ass whooping don't come till later in the game. Right?
Right.
All right. I got over. Because I have the halftime score being 16-10 Kansas City.
I thought you were going to say something like 48-20 or something like that. Well, you've been talking about them scoring.
That's when I play Madden later and beat the living crap out of them. All right, Philadelphia is 12.5. So they actually expect Philadelphia to be leading at halftime, according to the odds makers. Under that total is minus 110. Over is minus 130. Kevo says, no, he's not mad. He's over as well. He says they're going to be over that.
I'll take the over 20.
You'll take.
I told you they were going to score 21 in the first half,
All
so
right.
of course I'm going to go there.
He says over 20.
I'm going over.
You want to make some big ballsy prediction how many points that's going to be?
No, sir.
All right.
I'll just take what they give me, thanks.
I went under because I just told you they have 10 at half.
They have 10 at the end of the first quarter if you're lucky, maybe 14 then.
You're right. Maybe I'll give him 10 and then nothing else in the second.
You might want to check that shirt. You might have some glue on it.
Do you hear what I hear?
I do. I hear you singing the Eagles fight song. Thanks.
Yeah.
It will not be well sung, I'll tell you that. All right, Patrick Mahomes touchdowns, including overtime. So if it does go to overtime, that's bonus time for you and me. 2.5. So 3 touchdowns or more is plus money. 2 touchdowns less, minus 180. Kevin's obviously going over.
Obviously, huh?
Yep. He thinks there's going to be a lot of passing touchdowns for Kansas City. And if
as the camera can see my face, I am definitely going under.
Look, you're definitely going under. All right, I'll get it. I'll say this.
I told you I think they're only going to score 1 touchdown for the game.
You're right. So how can you get that 3 passes?
Right.
Yep, I got you, Mark.
I'm going over.
All right.
I think it's at 3.
Yes, because you'll wonder why I think Kansas City wins. I put under as well because I think it's actually going to be at 2. Mahomes is averaging 2.5 for the season and only 2 in the postseason. So it's not like he's racking up a lot of passing touchdowns, but they are getting these sweeps the more rushing touchdowns than they have traditionally as Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. So they're scoring touchdowns in more variety than when it's just Mahomes throwing 5 every game to Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and everybody they've had over the years.
Well, when he's throwing those 5 every game, he's able to get out of the pocket and scramble and wait till somebody gets open, and that is going to be the issue here.
Yep.
I think his ankle is going to keep him pretty locked up. They're going to try to keep him in the pocket, keep him from getting hurt any further. So they're going to have to run the ball a lot more than they normally do.
Keep that thought fresh in your mind when we get to Jalen Hurts and his shoulder, okay?
Okay.
Gotcha. Pass completions, including overtime. How many passes will he complete in the game? Over, basically 26 or more is minus 110, 25 or less minus 120. And this one, he's got him 25 as an average per game, so he's going over. Kevin's saying he's getting 26 or more completions.
I'm going over because I think he's going to have to throw the ball at the end of the game. So those little dink and dunk passes to Kelsey will start adding up.
Yep. Mark?
I'm going under.
Under, okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be...
You think he'll throw a lot but just not complete a lot?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
I've got over because I think that's the only way they can really move the ball on Philly. I don't think they'll be able to run against that defensive line, so he's going to short passes.
The little dink and dunk,
The
right?
little dink and dunk stuff's going to eventually add to 26 or
That's
more.
right.
So I got there. All right, Mahomes' total passing yards. Once again, if it goes to overtime, it does include it at 290.5. So 291 or more, 120 on the negative side. And if you think it's 290 or less, minus 110. Kevo's got over because he's the only QB to average over 300 in a game. He's at 308. So he thinks he's basically going to throw for 300 yards on your boys.
Nope.
There, Preston.
Not going to happen.
He just says no.
Not going to be able to do it.
Not gonna be able to do it. Not
there it
gonna
is.
be able to do it.
Yeah, I think Mahomes, he's going to throw a lot. But, again, it's going to be all those little dink and dunk, 5 yards here, 10 yards here. So he may have the 20, over 26 completions. But he's not going to average 10 yards of completion, so it's going to put him under.
Okay.
It's going to get even wilder here. I'm going over because I think the completions he does make are these long bombs.
He sneaks 1 or 2 over.
Yeah.
I've got under because I subscribe to Preston's idea that it's more dink and dunk.
Yeah.
No,
And
you
then the
do know
Mark-
Preston's got Philly winning.
I do.
All right.
Our cornerbacks are pretty good, so they're not going to let a whole lot of that deep stuff go. He's going to have to throw it short.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. That's Philly. All right, here we go.
All right, Fred, let's keep it moving.
Sounded like a Cowboys call there.
Yeah.
Could have been. Jalen Hurts,
Wide
passing
left.
touchdowns, 1.5. If you think he'll throw 2 or more, it's minus 130. If it's 1 or less, you get even money. Kevin is going over with no stats to be told. So he's giving your boy credit. He's going to get at least 2 touchdowns passing there, Presto.
Yep, I'm going over as well. But like I said, I
course you
think that Kenny Gainwell and those little swing passes out of the back of the end zone will be helpful down low. So
Mark,
I'm going over as well.
you're going over as well.
Oh, yeah.
He averages 1.5 during the regular season, so that's basically where they put the number. He had 13 rushing touchdowns, though, so when he gets down there, he tends to snack all those things. He's averaged 1. He's had 1 each game in the postseason, which means I'm going over.
I was fixing to say they've had the lead by a ton
I know.
in the postseason.
Well,
so
according to this game's over at halftime, Preston.
exactly. Well, when I tell you my total score later, you'll agree with that too.
I will not agree with that. Unless you got Kansas City winning somehow after all this and rope-a-dope me. You probably
I'm good
be
at
kicked
those.
out of that Fly Eagle fan club, though.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
All right, not going to be able to do it. All right, Jalen Hurts pass completions. He's at 21.5 as his over-under. If you think he's 22 or more, it's even money. 20 or less is minus 130. Kevin's got under because he's averaging 20 a game right now. 20 completions. What do you got?
I went with over, but I don't think it's going to be over by much.
Okay, so you're thinking 24?
23, yeah, 22, 23. it's not going to be much, but I like the even money on the over. And with the offenses, I think maybe he'll throw some quick passes again. Goddard, and
Okay.
Gainwell, Sanders, all those guys, short passes out of the backfield.
I'm going under because I think he would be right at 21. That hook will
You're
get
right
me.
on there, huh?
Yep.
He averaged 20 during the regular season and only 15 in the postseason. That's why I was asking you what you felt about his shoulder.
I think his shoulder's fine.
Think his shoulder's fine?
I do. I think
All
his
right.
shoulder's fine, and I don't think Kansas City has the pass rush to hit him a whole lot. So I'm not worried about that, I don't think.
You went over?
I went over.
Ooh, doggy.
I think he's right there. I see him at 23.
Yeah.
That's why I went over. I see him at 23 of 31. All right, total pass yards, though. This will be interesting. 237.5 is the number here. 237 or less is 120 on the negative side. If you think he gets 238 or more, it's minus 110. Kevo says he's averaging 246 a game, so he's going over.
Well, you've got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, so I'm going over as well.
Okay, Mark?
Easily over.
Easily. What do you think he gets? You think he gets 3?
Yeah, I think he gets 3.
300 yards?
Yep.
Woo.
Against Kansas City?
I don't know. I don't know that he'll need that much. I think it's going to be lower than that just because he's not going to need that much towards the end of the game.
I think he gets it, though.
Oh, well.
Okay, so I got Mark.
Keep the gas on the pedal to the end.
I'm not going to hold him as far as make it in the bet, but I'm going to make a note. He thinks he's getting 300 plus.
Yep.
I went over. I don't think it's 300 plus, but he's got too good a wide receivers and a tight end that out of these passes. Kansas City gives up some pass yardage.
Right.
So that's where I think they're going to have to make their hay. I think their rushing attack ain't going to be as successful as they think they probably going into the game will be. All right, Travis Kelce, pretty good tight end last time I checked. His receiving yards are at 78.5. Over that is minus 115. Under that is also the same amount at minus 115. Kevin says over because it's just Mahomes and Kelce. Need he say more?
Oh, my gosh.
I went under.
You went under, okay.
I did.
You think they're going to focal point on him?
Well, yeah, I do.
Like
I think the defense will keep an eye. They'll be playing him pretty close. I mean, I think he's going to get his catches, and I think he'll probably get somewhere from 60 to 70 yards. But I think they're going to keep him in check a little more than just letting him get 20 catches a game.
Okay, Mark.
I went under. I think he's going to give about 50. I think that. I think if they think he's that much of a key, Philadelphia definitely do something about it.
I keep asking
those dink and dunks.
Yeah, I just keep asking this question every week when I see Travis Kelce getting 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns or 100-yard, whatever it is, 9 catches. Like,
why aren't you guarding him? Right.
Yeah, why aren't you guarding? But there's got to be something to it. They scheme him or they do something. So I don't know that Philly's going to be the first team in the history of the NFL to figure out how to double team Kelce or not. But I went over.
They are the
our
defense.
linebacker core is strong enough to stick with him. I believe.
Okay, I went over. I think he actually gets 100 yards.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody else on that team is going to have a whole lot of yards. I think it's going to be all 100% Kelce. The teams that have basically beat Kansas City or did that shut everybody down except him, and they've almost had success. I mean, it's been a little mixed bag at the end with these last-second touchdowns and 2-point conversions and field goals that Kansas City ekes out. But you look at the roster, if they keep the deep threats from going, from Valdez-Scantling and Juju when he was playing, they just let Kelce have basically all he can eat, and that's how Kansas City was getting beat in the games that they got beat. But in this case, I don't think that'll happen. 100 yards, I'm going over. A.J. Brown, I'll leave it up to you on this one. 72.5. Oh, plus, Kelce's averaging 88 a game so far in the postseason. There's a stat for you.
Not against Philadelphia.
I was fixing to say. Hadn't been
Not
playing
against
Philly's
Philadelphia.
defense.
Well, it wasn't against the damn Giants and San Francisco 49ers
Denver.
that even Dak threw
It was
300
in
on.
Denver. You got Denver stats figured in there. Me and Preston could catch those passes.
Not if Russell.
Actually, they had
Wilson's
trouble beating
throwing
Denver. Yeah, actually, they had trouble beating Denver, if you remember scoring.
They did have a problem.
All right, Brown's total is 72.5 here. Minus 110 if you think it's under that. 120 minus on the over. Kevin says over because he averages 88 a game. And that's right. That's the same stat I had. So far, A.J. Brown's been doing 88, but only 25 yards a game in the postseason.
Well, again, in the postseason, they've gotten the lead early and hadn't had to throw the ball in the second half. So I'm going to take over because I feel like he'll have one of those 40 or 50-yard catches, and then you only got to get another 20 for the rest of the game. So
Okay.
Will he do it in the first half?
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm going over as well.
Philly's coming out and punching him in the mouth the first half. Boop. Look at Shane's face.
God.
Yeah. Well, he was just over there licking his pen.
By
so I'm thinking it
halftime,
was a
Shane
pencil.
will start learning the song where he can sing it on Monday.
Yes.
So the same thing that we just talked about with Travis Kelce, I think Kansas City's going to do to Philly. They're going to double him.
Oh, my
I think
goodness.
if they find a guy that's going to give them the most problem, it'll be A.J. Brown. So that's what I think they're going to scheme against. So I have them under.
They don't have the cornerbacks to
Not-
guard A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Good Lord.
They're not going to be able to guard them both.
Well, you say the same thing in their championship game against the Bengals when they had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. You don't think they're comparable?
They're comparable.
All right, well, it wasn't like those two boys each had 102 touchdowns apiece.
There you go.
I move on.
You shouldn't lick that pen. It's like sniffing glue.
I'm going under. I think he gets right at 65 yards somewhere on there because I think they concentrate on him more. Now,
I can't
that'll
wait
lead to
to
the
roll
next
this
one.
back.
That'll be the next one.
All right.
Devontae Smith, total yards, 63.5. If you think it's 64 or more, it's minus 115. Same odds if you think it's 63 or less. Kevin's going over because he averages 70 a game.
Because he knows Philly's going to win.
He's definitely giving them a lot of yards. He's going over on everything they're doing.
He's like a game of Madden with him. What do you got there, Preston?
I've got under.
Oh, good gravy.
He's got under.
I think that A.J. Brown will be more of the dominant receiver. So Devontae will probably have 40 or 50 yards receiving, but I don't think that he'll get all the way up there.
Ah,
Mark?
See, I see differently. I think that he's just going to spread the love to all of his receivers. I've got over.
This is the guy that I think will do the most damage to the Chiefs. It's the secondary guy. So I got Devontae Smith actually 90 to 95 yards and a touchdown in this game, so I'm going over. He averages 70 in the regular season, which was right on pace, basically. I mean, he's 18 yards less than A.J. Brown a game, but I count that not that big of a difference.
Well, there were a couple games that he didn't score anything. Trust me, my fantasy team will tell you that.
And so far, for what it's worth, in the 2 games that they have played in the postseason, he's doubled up A.J. Brown.
Yep.
50 yards a game to 25. I think that continues. Why? Because they flow the coverage to A.J. Brown. He's the most dangerous guy on that team from a receiver standpoint.
And Philly wins.
And Philly loses. All right, Travis Kelce's total receptions. Does he get 8 or more? If that's the case, it's minus 125. If you think it's 7 or less, it's minus 105. Kevin's like, over. Mahomes and Kelce. Need I say more?
That's actually good logic. I've got over as well.
All right, Mark?
I've got over right at 8.
And I have under, believe it or not. I think he lands right on 7.
He'll have 10 to 15 catches. They'll just be short.
He just averaged 6.5 in the regular season, but he has averaged almost 11 a game in the postseason.
Right.
So I'm taking a shot on that one a little more than I think normal. But once again, I'm hoping Philadelphia figures out that they're going to try to shift coverage over there and make the opportunities a little less plentiful. A.J. Brown total receptions for the game, 5 or less gets you minus 130. If you think it's 6 or more, you get even money. Kevin's going over on this one as well. He's averaged 5 in the regular season a game, and he went down to 3.5 in the post.
No, they're going to have to throw the ball more. I've got over.
Over? All right, Mark?
I'm going over as well. I expect him to go over on the receiving, so on the total yards.
I actually got over. I got 6 receptions for 63 yards for him.
Bingo,
Bingo,
bango,
bango, bongo.
bongo.
All right. Dallas, I always said Goddard. Is it Goddard?
Goddard?
All right.
Yogurt.
The vanilla flavor. All right. 5.5 is his receiving prop over. So 6 or more gets you plus money at 105. If you think it's 5 or less, it's minus 135. He averaged 4.5 catches in the regular season and 5 in the postseason. So this number is pretty much square on, I think. This is a tough one for me to pick a side on. Kevin says under.
Right.
Kevin's been in my notes. I've got under as well. I've got him at 4 or 5 catches.
I've got under.
And I've got under.
Underoos.
He's used. I think he'll play an important part, but I just don't see him being a funnel for receptions.
Right.
Miles Sanders, total rush yards, it's at 60.5. If you think it's 61 or more, it's minus 120. 60 or less is minus 110. Kevin says under. He's a boomer bust play. I'll just tell you, he averaged 75 during the regular season and 66 in the post.
Well, I'm going over because, like I said, I think they're going to be running the ball out in the fourth quarter. So
Okay.
they will have a steady dose of Miles Sanders coming your way in the fourth quarter.
I went over as well. I think it's throughout the whole game, just like you said, to keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah.
Yep, I got over for that reason, too. I don't think he'll get much more over that, but I think he gets over that. Unless he busts a big one, but that'll just add to my over. Jalen Hurts. This will be an interesting one. That's why I was asking about what you thought on the shoulder. 50.5 is his over-under. If you think it's 50 or less, minus 110. Over that a mark is minus 120. Kevin gave a huge stat line here, I suppose. Week 13, 24 yards. 14, 144. 15 was 42 yards. 16 was 65. 17 was 61. And 18 was 33. He says over. Oh, that was Sanders. Okay. I'll make note of it. Anyway, he says going over either way. He's got wheels, is what his notes were.
Going over?
He's going over.
What was he going on Miles Sanders? You said under. Is he still under on Sanders?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's boomer bust, and I guess that's what he was telling me. By 24, 144, and then in the 60s.
Gotcha.
I guess that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Preston, I'm looking at this guy because this is the ultimate Jalen Hurts choker here.
And I am. I've been on his bandwagon since he came into the league. I liked him when he played in college, and I definitely had him on my fantasy team, which helped me get to the playoffs in multiple leagues this year.
And?
But for this game, I think it goes under.
Under.
Ooh,
I do.
yeah.
I think they're going to kind of protect him. They don't want him to take any hits that he doesn't have to take. So they're not going to design a whole lot of Jalen Hurts run plays. They'll use Gainwell and Sanders for that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I'm going over, though. I think he does some scrambling. Chiefs have a decent defense.
I actually took Preston's notes, I guess, because I think they'll try to protect him and not do too many design plays. If he gets there will be some weird scramble that wasn't
Yeah, run
foreseen.
for 30 yards
Yeah.
trying to avoid a sack or something like that. But I
Right.
don't think he keeps
Right.
For what this is worth, he's averaged 36.5 in the postseason, so it's not like he hadn't run at all, even with his shoulder, but they've really been guarded against what it's been, and he hasn't been trying to get the extra yards. He's been going down a little quicker lately. All right. Isaiah Pacheco of the Kansas City Chiefs, his over-under rushing total is 48.5. You think it's going to be 48 or less, it's minus 115, 49 or more. Also the same total at minus 115. Kevo's got over. One time since week 10, he's had under 58 yards.
Great. He tore it up against them.
I've got
Teams.
over as well, because if there's one semi-weakness to our defense, it's our run defense.
Oh.
And I think it's the same way on both sides. I think they're going to try to run the ball a little more than they need to, just because giving the ball back to Philly's offense is not any good. So they're going to try to keep the ground on the ground as long as they can anyway.
All right, Mark.
And I'm going to go under because I think Philly does have a good, strong stop against that run defense. And then until it gets to the fourth quarter, but by that time, they'll be so far behind, they'll be passing it. They won't be running
And
it.
that'll be McKinnon in there instead of Pacheco.
Right.
Yep. I went under. I agree with Mark. I think they're going to have a hard time finding rushing room, and then it's going to be on Mahomes from there in the short passing game to get it done. Speaking of Mahomes, his total rushing yards, 20.5 for the game. That would include any overtime. If you think he gets 20 or less, it's minus 105. Over that amount is minus 125. So they think he's actually going to scramble a little more than he has lately. Kevin says over 2 weeks since he's last played. He should be raring to go on that ankle. So he basically says he's going to be healthy and go over that mark. We got Preston.
I've got under.
You got under.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let him run the ball very much. I mean, he may scramble a little bit here and there, but he's not going to take a chance at taking out of the game.
Look, he's so choked up.
Yeah, he is. It's okay.
Whenever you bring
Excuse
up
me.
Mahomes, he knows he's the number one quarterback in the league, Paul.
Come on,
He just
man.
makes me cry.
I'll help you out.
If I had to take my pick right now in the fantasy league, I'm still taking Jalen Hurts over Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, well, you go ahead and get it, big boy. Get all the ones you want to take.
You just see who's raising the trophy at the end of the game.
Okay.
I'm
Still
going to go.
taking
I'll still be here.
I'm going to go over
All right.
because
over.
I think the Philadelphia defense is going to make him scramble.
Yes, that's exactly right. I won't say any more. I'm going over. Exact same reason Marcellus Wiley over here just told me.
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell. Here's the interesting one. Total carries including overtime. You see 4.5, and you think, well, he averaged 3 in the regular season. That's kind of high. Well, he averaged 13 carries a game in the postseason. So I'll let Preston try to explain that. Minus 145 if you think it's going to go 5 or more carries. If you think he's 4 or less, it's plus money. Kevin says under 5 times all year. He's had under 4. So let me read that again. He's going under 4.5 because 5 times all year he's had over 4. All right, so that's most of the time he's been under. Now I got it.
What do you got, Preston?
Oh, I'm definitely going over.
Yeah.
Like I said, the last couple of games, they've been using him a lot more. His productivity's been good. That's the same reason I picked him for that prop bet earlier. I feel like he's going to have his hands on the ball and split carries with Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is not going to have that dominant
Roll.
split like they used to. I think it's going to be more evenly split. So give me the
Yep.
over 5.
Bingo on that. I'm going over.
Me too, Paul. I think he gets 10 carries
That's right.
in this
Let's
game.
see. Philly's going to win.
No. Isaiah Pacheco total carries. Now it's interesting, 11.5. He's averaged 11 in the postseason, 10 in the regular season, so he's been pretty steady on what he gets for carries, regardless of the scores, it seems like. Over is minus 130. Under is even money. Kevo says over. 2 times since week 10, he's had under double-digit carries, so only 2 times. So he's thinking he's going to get a pretty good share of running carries here. What do you think, Preston?
I gave him the over as well. Like I said, I think he gets over the rushing yards just barely, but I think he's going to have to take 12 to 15 carries to get it. So
I got the same philosophy about his yardage. I'm going under.
So you're going under?
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't.
What'd you go, Preston?
over.
Over.
Okay,
He went over.
All right. Just making sure when I heard the yardage.
I got him 12 to 15 carries.
I went over because I thought he's going to get 12. Maybe 13. Maybe he's running the clock out at the end of the game because they're up so big.
Hit that alarm clock. You're dreaming again.
I'm still looking at it. I'm just looking at the camera when he says crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, there you go. There's all your prop bets, guys. 57 of them, and
You're
now we
missing
get
some.
down to our game.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
what this is?
is not a prop bet. These are actually just
okay.
game totals. Normal stuff that
Woo,
you see
we made it.
on any game. I'm looking to see if Kevin actually had a total in this.
I'm still
don't see
picking the
one.
green Gatorade, by the way.
So we'll get him
Just
to
letting you know.
yell his prediction.
I'm
here
going
in a minute.
yellow.
All right, well, yellow, green, it's the same. It's still lemon lime.
Yeah, I'm going yellow for the Bronco fans.
That's drinking something different than Gatorade, sir.
Oh yeah.
What is it different?
Well,
Some would beg to differ, sir. All right, this game 5:30 Central Time on Sunday. By the time they get the actual ball kicked off, it'll probably be more like 5:40. So we'll go down to the first half of the money line on the game, which means just who's leading. Philadelphia's even money. Kansas
write this
City
down.
plus 105 if you think they're winning at the end of the first half. And a tie is plus 880.
oh, you went ahead and wrote mine down?
I wrote his down. I already know what he's going to say.
35 to 2. He said there wasn't going to be a safety scored, so that'll be interesting. All right, Kevin, what do you got there? Kansas City. You think they're winning? All right, KC. Preston.
First half, you're
Philly.
nuts.
Philly.
Mark, Philly.
Philly.
Well, I've got the game 16 to 10 at half, so Kansas City, I'm going KC. All right.
Drunk.
Second half of the game, which not take the first points out, and then starting at halftime, third quarter at 0-0 again. Who scores more points?
Including
in the
overtime
second
you
half,
have here.
including overtime.
Yeah.
Yep. So there could be bonus play here.
Yeah.
Kansas City minus 105, Phillies 120, and it cannot be tied because the Super Bowl cannot end in a tie. So don't ask why is there not a tie there. Kevin, what do you got? KC. He's showing KC wins the second half. First half and second half and game, obviously. Preston.
Philly.
First half, second half, and game. Mark.
Shouldn't come to any surprise, Philly. It's going to be easy peasy.
I guess it shouldn't come any surprise for me either because I got it 17 to 15 in the second half.
Philly?
Kansas City. All right, so here you go. Full game against the spread. 1.5 is the latest we got. Kansas City is minus 110 if you're giving the points, minus 105 if you're giving it on the Philly side. I don't even need to know. Kevin. Casey.
Fly.
Preston,
Eagles,
Philly.
Fly.
Shane should start singing that song. Go, Philly. Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Get that one?
Well, yeah, we got it. There's going to be 2 winners and 2 losers throughout
Right.
this whole thing.
Now, this is kind of, I threw it in there just for the sake that if there was somebody that actually thought this was going to be a 1-point game, but since the point spread is so low, full game money line, just 2 wins.
Yeah, Lord.
Kevin's obviously got KC. I got KC, and both you fools have Philly.
The
Not
winners,
so fast. No, I'm just kidding.
the winners have Philly.
That's right.
They're minus 130, so obviously the odds makers think that's a pretty good shot.
Most of America does. What was that?
Not
what was
even
that?
most of our sports book does.
Well, go back and look. By Sunday, it would be heavy on Philly.
All right.
You had a heavy bet
see.
today on Philly.
We did?
Heavy bet.
Heavy bet.
Check your Slack.
Must have been drunk.
Heavy bet. I think it was 25 G's.
Must have been
Really?
Must have been drinking with you and Kevin last night, Shane.
25 G's. That would be great. We could use that money.
It's on there.
Full game over under. 50.5 is the total point spread here. Under's 105. Over is 110. Kevin, what do you got in this game? Over or under 50.5? Over. He says over. It's going to be a shootout. What's
That's
that
right.
mean? What's your score? 34-31 KC. All right.
34-31.
I saw that meme on Facebook too.
Yeah, 34 and not 44, right? All right. What do you got, Preston?
Under.
You got under that.
I do. I have the
right.
final score at 31-16.
31-16. All right.
Woo, doggy.
Mark?
I'm going over.
All right.
KC 21, Philly 35.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Wow.
I got Kansas City 33-25.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
And that last touchdown is the garbage one at the end. It's closer to the end, but Hurts gets picked off, and it's not a pick six, but they end up scoring off of it. All right.
Over,
that's how
over,
I think.
under.
I'm going over. Yep.
Right.
See, I'm the only one on the under.
I'm sorry.
But I know how good our defense is.
All right.
Okay.
Take the Dallas game out of the equation. And the rest of the time, our defense is
you gotta
pretty solid.
Yeah, because you get to play the Colts, the Bears.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
you
come
got
on.
Denver.
Good Lord,
who
Atlanta.
struggles.
Some junk. All right,
Denver
Kansas City. Denver. Kansas City full game. 24.5. Overs minus 105 and unders 115. So if we just gave the score, Kevin says 34, but this is the full game. So Kevin says that's going over for Philly, 24.5. Preston's going to go under.
Kansas City, you mean?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
what?
Kansas
Yeah,
City,
you
I've
said-
got them under.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the full game. I was just reading the scores. So you
Okay.
say they're only going to score 16. Mark says they're going to score 21. So
Yep.
that's under.
Maybe. I might try to square the market again.
And then I'm going to go over, obviously, because I got 33. 25.
Okay.
All right, and last one. Philadelphia's full game is 25 over-under just for their team only. And minus 110 on either side. Kevin says they're going to score 31, so that's an over for Kevin. Preston says they're going to score 31.
I did.
So that's over for you. I've got 25.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
got,
a
you got
push.
that over for me?
I do. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, do you think Philly's going to win?
Hang on a second. Do I think Philly's going to win?
Not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it.
Sir, keep your hand off the board over there.
I've actually got a push because I have Philly scoring right at 25.
Where do you see that bet? It's
That's
over
not a
under.
bet. I know, but I have the score 33 to 25. The over-under is 25. I'll say over and
All
over
right.
push.
Yeah, there you go. You can push.
You got to pick one.
All right.
You can't go up to the window and go, I want to bet a push.
Well, wait a minute. You can right here.
I want to bet a
First half money line says tie. That's a
Yeah,
push. I can bet it, Paul.
That's not what you're saying right here.
That's the wrong bet, sir.
Yes, right. Sir, come on. We're going to have to help you.
Wrong bet,
That's
fool.
okay. We understand. You're wearing a Dallas shirt. Kind of slow.
All right.
You need a hug?
So, yeah. I'll let you know Monday.
You need
I'll
a
probably
quarterback?
let you know
I'm not
by
hugging you while you're flying.
I'll probably
Fly,
be 9.
Eagles, fly.
By about 9 p.m. Sunday, I'll know.
No, you're going to know by halftime, sir.
Good Lord.
Wow.
We're going to have a side bet on that.
Stay tuned because if that comes to fruition, I am popping up on YouTube or Facebook, sending it to Kyle of you practicing the Go Fly Eagles Fight song.
Well, all I know is they're not greasing the poles down in South Haven where I'm watching the game, so I'm climbing the.
Oh, he's
you're
climbing
not
a pole.
You're not going to Christie's Cabaret?
No,
He's climbing a pole.
that's a whole different pole.
All right, guys. Well, before we get out of here, the Super Bowl is spectacular. Keep in mind, we do have a VIP party happening here. So come on down.
Where's
we also
here?
have retail.
Where's here? Tell
Sportsbook.
YouTube folks, where's here at?
Here's at
YouTube
Southland
land.
Casino and Hotel in West Memphis, Arkansas. So if you're close enough, you want to see the game, we'll have it on a screen here, a big screen in the main casino. Pretty much on every TV that can show the game, we'll have the game out. So no matter what you're doing, playing table games, maybe you're just eating and watching the game and having a few bets on the sports action going, whatever you want to do, we'll make sure you can see it somewhere in this building. And then, of course, Monday's show, when we come back, we'll figure out who's wearing gear or who's singing songs. And then go from there. Yeah, wearing gear.
Singing songs.
And then we'll do a recap of everybody's bets and see how we would have done on the props and the
Watching
main
on
game
YouTube.
score.
Now, let me ask you this. How much money are we putting on each one of these bets? Maybe you could tally some money up on our wins. Let's say we took...
So let's put it this way. Not that we have that kind of bankroll, but let's say we brought 5,700. We put 100 on every single one of those prop bets, and then we put 100 on each one of those six.
Man,
I
was going $5, but I guess you're going Nick money.
Well, it'll make
If he's giving it away, let's do it.
it'll make it easier for me to compute.
It does make it
having
easier
buy.
to add them up.
Gotcha.
So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the game itself props plus 57. So there's $6,400 being bet by all of us, and
Better
we'll see
write
who
that
comes
down.
out on top.
Just put it on my tab.
Knowing Mark, he'll get less than 50% of those right,
And
be
still
giving
have
out
more
food.
money.
Preston will beat him, but not me, and
That's
then he'll get food.
incorrect.
I don't care if I lose all the props as long as I get to see you sing. That's worth every penny.
Every penny, huh? We'll see. So Monday's show ought to be a good one. Either way, we invite you to tune in and subscribe and like the page.
Ring the
if
bell
you'd
for
love
notifications.
to. We love it.
If I hit the Gainwell bet, I'm just going to beat y'all by that bet all alone.
Almost.
Yeah, that's right.
Still be negative.
I don't think so.
But anyway, do that. And then, the 7 folks that are watching our show religiously right now, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
If we could get you to the VIP party, just let us know you watch our show on YouTube, and this guy will give you a wristband.
That's right.
We'll get
yes,
you
we
in
got
for food
tens and tens of
and the
views.
game.
And we got, we're up to 32 followers.
Hopefully somebody
Oh.
lives in this area, sees this, and goes, watched all hour and a half of it that we're approaching right now, and then comes here and says, hey, I'm subscribed to your show on YouTube, and that'll make us excited.
Yep, I'll slap a wristband on you. Come get some free food and drink.
That's right.
Hey,
Eligible for some prizes,
What
too.
we'll do is if you come up and tell them that, they'll buy you lunch while you're watching Shane sing the song right here live
We'll give
on
you
Monday.
we'll give you a special
You
shirt.
get lunch. You get lunch and a show on Monday.
And we'll give you a special shirt that not everybody's going to get at the VIP event. That's one of these Odds Brothers shirts we've got over here next to Preston.
It makes your heads look a lot bigger when somebody's
Yeah.
wearing it.
Just take the Preston shot there for a second there, Kevin. Get Kevin.
There
There you go.
they
Now
are.
you see the one on that green one. Now, we do have a darker version of that. Of
Yeah,
light blue
yeah. You
wine.
don't have to glow in the dark. We do have a darker one.
They got the neon yellow over here.
We'll let you choose. Maybe
will
we'll
let
give
you
you one of each. I've got plenty.
There you go. All right, we
Just
go.
raid his office.
Yeah. So there you got. Any last minute thoughts on the game, Preston? I know you're an Eagles fan. What are you going to be doing to watch it? What's going on in your world?
I'm going to be sitting at the same Super Bowl party I've been at for the last 26, 27 years.
You're only 24.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. My parents were going there when I was still in the womb. Hopefully be watching my Eagles win the Super Bowl and
Still be 3 behind the Cowboys.
having the celebration. And, at least down there they know that I'm one of the real Eagle fans and not one that's just jumping on this year. I've been an Eagles fan my whole life, so I'm excited about it.
Who do you want me to choose for? I'm not a Chiefs fan. I think Eagles win. I'm staying true to the conference. You're not.
You're right.
I'm staying true to the conference.
I can't stomach rooting for the Eagles or the Commodes.
You got to wish the conference the best.
The Giants would have been the best shot because I did root for the Giants against the Brady
good
during
gravy.
that perfect year.
Giants
and then I
are
rooted for
horrible.
him again. I know, but that was the one
That-
NFC Division East Division team that I actually did root for because it was against Brady, and I got tired of hearing about Brady.
If all the stars and the moon lined up, I still wouldn't be rooting for the Giants if they made it to the Super Bowl. I'd jump over.
Brady, you were rooting against Brady, and Brady hates the Cowboys so much that he lost to him and decided he shouldn't play football anymore.
That's right. Yeah, he needed to retire a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Gronk said he
I've
wouldn't do that.
got an 8-point game when it's all said and done. Kevin's got a 3-point game. Mark's got a 14-point game, and so does Preston's got a 15-point
15
game.
points, yep.
So hopefully it's a little closer than even you guys think it will be for just having a good game overall. At the end of the day,
it'll be a good game though.
if I got to puke and throw up and sing that fight song, I'll do it if it's a good game. Just don't let it be a blowout if it happens, Casey.
Oh boy!
Come on.
I hope it's a blowout so I can pop some of that early footage of you practicing.
I don't even know who the ref crew is for this game to see if it's the same one for the AFC. I know they mixed.
I'm sure it's Chiefs driven.
I think they mixed the
Oh.
crews out of the two, I think, is how they determine this.
NFL
the
wants-
best individual ones, or the best crew
Yeah.
that was graded
Right.
over the course of the postseason, I think, goes to this one.
I think the Bengals get to pick.
I think
Coin flip. That's what they'll say. Coin flip it.
they'll take the Chiefs. The rest will be on the Chiefs side. They want another Tom Brady.
You got it.
Nah.
Mark and Roger Goodell are no longer Facebook friends.
Well, he's invited to the VIP event.
Yeah,
I'll slap
come
a
on down, Goodell.
bracelet on him.
I unfriend you.
It's handcuffs.
We're still looking for anybody involved in the marketing of, I think it's Nabisco with the Cheez-Its. So
Where's your Cheez-Its? How come you're not making sweet love to them
we
again?
tried it for a couple of weeks and nobody came up with the
Nobody
Cheez-Its.
bit.
Nobody out of the 7 subscribers was a Cheez-Its marketing executive. Darn it!
You just at least got to make the phone call, hook them up with the Cheez-Its.
Something.
We
Anybody.
need to be at the Cheez-Its Bowl next year broadcasting live.
Well, no, we're doing better. We want to have a Odds Brothers Bowl.
Well,
That's going to take a few more subscribers.
I was going to say.
Not if we want to invite Nebraska.
Right now, you're not even going to be able to fill up Marion High School's football field every
That's
year.
who it'll be. It'll be Marion High School versus Nebraska Cornhuskers.
in the Odds Brothers Cheez-Its.
And I'm
podcast
still
bowl.
taking Marion.
On that note, everybody have a
We're
great,
outta
safe
here.
time. We'll see you Monday. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching the Odds Brothers.
Enjoy the game.
That's right.
Yes,
Roll that
absolutely.
beautiful ending bean footage.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers Podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Bentley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.bentley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.